After almost 28 years, there's finally a matcha Pokemon, and in this video, we're going to talk all about it. Whether you're a tea lover or a Pokemon fan, you're definitely going to like this video as we dive into the origins of Poltchageist and learn a thing or two about Japanese tea along the way. At the end, I'll even show you why I think there's going to be a second matcha Pokemon in the near future. So not too long ago, the Pokemon Company released a video showcasing their new Pokemon Poltchageist, along with an animated video explaining its origins. First, let's talk about the name. As you can probably already tell, Poltchageist is a mix between Matcha and Poltergeist, which is a name for a spirit or a ghost. This is why the Pokemon is a ghost grass type, a reference to the ghostly spirits inhabiting the green tea leaf powder. A few years prior to this, there was another tea Pokemon released called Polteageist, which is based on a British teapot in the Britain-themed Galar region. These two are based on spirits that have inhabited pieces of teaware. This porcelain teapot has become a symbol of British tea culture, so this was a good fit for the region. This particular type of tea is made by brewing black tea leaves in hot water and mixing them with milk and sugar. But the most iconic symbol of Japanese tea is without a doubt the utensils used in the Japanese tea ceremony, where beautiful green tea powder is mixed directly into water. So this is where our newest tea spirit comes into play. So what is this Pokemon based off of, and what can it tell us about the Japanese tea ceremony? The main body of Poltchageist is based on the chaire, or tea caddy, which is used for holding matcha powder. There are actually two different types of these tea caddies. The first is the natsume, which is made out of a thinner lacquer material, and the special chaire, which is made out of clay. These both are used as a way to store the sensitive matcha powder until it's ready to be used in the tea ceremony. Right away, you can tell this Pokemon is based on the chaire because it has the stopper on top and it even has the glazed pattern on top, which resembles the glazes used in Japanese tea pottery. Before we get into that wooden spoon that Poltchageist is holding, another thing worth mentioning is the cracks that are formed in the chaire body. As the story explains, these were put in by a tea master as a way to repair the cracked clay tea holder. This is a reference to Kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken items using gold-dusted lacquer. Rather than disguising the cracks in an object or discarding the object, these cracks are accentuated by the Kintsugi method as a way to celebrate the history of the object, including all of its flaws. Poltchageist was a cracked chaire that was repaired not with gold powder, but with matcha powder. This is a symbol of a broken object coming back to life, just like a ghost. As you can see, there's actually a lot of thought put into the design, but it actually goes even deeper than that. The Pokemon is also holding a wooden spoon, which is of course the famous Chashaku. As you'll see at the end of this video, this is a clear hint that there's likely another matcha Pokemon on the way. This spoon is carved out of a single piece of bamboo, and it's used to scoop the matcha powder out of the chaire or natsume. The spoon also works great as a measurement tool, and during the tea ceremony, you'll see the tea master using 2 heaping spoonfuls of the Chashaku for each bowl of matcha. Of course, Poltchageist is essentially a possessed piece of teaware filled with matcha powder, so it's able to spread the matcha powder all over, and it can even repair broken objects with its matcha kintsugi. According to the legend, this can even cause people's skin to glow, which is a nice reference to the health benefits of matcha, which may not only lead to clearer skin, but also more balanced energy, increased metabolism, and a calmer state of mind. Instead of spreading matcha powder everywhere, we suggest you simply drink it, and after traveling around Japan for the past few years, we found the very best tasting matcha teas, and you can try them all at neoteas.com, with free shipping worldwide. But there's one more thing worth mentioning before we get into that second matcha Pokemon, and that's the special ability of Poltchageist. The ability is called Hospitality, and it can restore the health of a Pokemon that it's fighting in battle with. This is without a doubt a reference to the Japanese tea ceremony, which is all about fostering a strong bond between the host and the guest. The tea master graciously welcomes the guest into the tea room and prepares a cup of matcha tea for them to the best of their abilities. This offering is used to cultivate the 4 principles of the tea ceremony: wa, ke, sei, jaku, or harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. It's so cool to see these concepts being embraced in such a mainstream way, but what is even cooler is what I think is coming next. You see, Poltchageist is part of what Pokemon is calling Convergent Evolution. Essentially, this is a Pokemon that is very similar to another previous Pokemon, but not directly related. This is something they've done with Diglett and Tentacool, and I think they're clearly doing it with Polteageist. Because the Convergent Evolutions have the same number of stages, and Polteageist has 2 stages with Sinistea, which is based on a teacup, I think we're going to be getting a second matcha Pokemon. It makes sense to keep the chaire and the Chashaku together, but these are really the B players in the tea ceremony. The main stars are the chasen or bamboo tea whisk and the chawan or clay tea bowl. By the way, these beautiful pieces of teaware can also be found at neoteas.com. I think there will be a Pokemon based on the chasen and the chawan, as these are the 2 most iconic pieces of Japanese teaware. just as the final stage, Poltchageist, was based on the iconic British teapot. That's just a theory, but we'll see what happens. I definitely think there will be much more tea knowledge to come from Pokemon in the future, and we'll be here to talk about it. If you want to learn more about matcha and the Japanese tea ceremony, we have so many other videos for you to check out. By the time the next matcha Pokemon comes out, you'll already be an expert on the subject. If you're curious about what matcha tastes like, we have so many great matcha teas for you to try on our website, neoteas.com. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, but until then, we'll see you next time.